Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 18th November 2024. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. First, let's start with finding the stocks near demand and supply zones starting from half-yearly time frame. For half-yearly time frame, let's find the stocks near half-yearly demand zone. One stock is filtered. I'm giving you only few seconds time to watch the report, so I request you pause the video, study the report. Once you complete, you can proceed further. In case if you don't understand how to understand or study this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. In that video, I have explained each and every column in detail, their values, abbreviations, I explained. Okay, now let us generate the next report. For half-yearly time frame, let us find the stocks near half-yearly supply zone. No stocks are available. Next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near quarterly demand zone. 3 stocks are filtered. Next, quarterly time frame. Stocks near quarterly supply zone. 1 stock is filtered. Next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. 10 stocks are filtered. Next monthly time frame. Stocks near monthly supply zone. 2 stocks are filtered. Next, for monthly time frame, price closed inside the monthly demand zone, but they should not be pierced, those demand zones. Monthly demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at monthly time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With this filter, we got a good number of stocks. These are the first 21 stocks where price closed inside monthly demand zone. You can also find some high liquidity zones also. I am scrolling the list down. So total 28 stocks are filtered where price closed inside monthly demand zone. But out of these 28, how many of these stocks are having a monthly EMA Confluence, so that we can consider them as a high probability trade setup related monthly zones. So I'm going back in the EMA Confluence at monthly time frame. Monthly demand zone having monthly EMA Confluence. But EMA Confluence does not add any advantage in a sideways trend. So that's why in the trend, zone violation trend at monthly time frame, I am not selecting sideways trend. I am selecting either up or down trend. Now let me filter. We got 18 stocks. In these 18 stocks, we can plan either bullish trade setups or counter trend trade setups related trade plans. Okay, next report, monthly time frame. Stocks closed inside monthly supply zones, and they should not be pierced monthly supply zones. So in the pierced count at monthly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. And let's filter the stocks. We got only 1 stock. And monthly trend is sideways, no need to look for EMA Confluence. Okay, next time frame is weekly. Let us find the stocks closed near weekly demand zone. 16 stocks are filtered. Next, weekly time frame. Stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, weekly time frame. stocks closed inside the weekly demand zone, and these weekly demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, weekly time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. So that means no pierced weekly demand zones. So we got good number of stocks. So these are the first 16 stocks closed inside the weekly demand zone. Scrolling the list down. So total 30 stocks are filtered, where price closed inside the weekly demand zone. In these weekly demand zones, how many stocks are having weekly EMA Confluence? They are high probability setup stocks. So, setup zones. In EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence. And EMA Confluence works only in the trending market, uptrend or downtrend. So in the violation trend zone, violation trend at a weekly time frame, I am selecting up or down, not sideways. So let me filter. We got 10 stocks. From 30, 10 stocks are having EMA Confluence and trend is uptrend in all these stocks. One stock is having downtrend, that can be used for counter trend trade setups. But currently none of you learn those concepts that you will be learning in future, because your focus should be on bullish or bearish trade setup related trade plans. Okay. Next, bearish trade setup. So weekly time frame, supply zones, and price closed inside weekly supply zone I have selected. Pierced count is already selected, and the trend I am making not selected for the filter. EMA Confluence also I am removing the filter, and pierced count already selected here, weekly. So with these details we got 4 stocks. Weekly time frame, week entry zone, supply zone, price closed inside the supply zone, zone is not pierced. That way you can look into the search strategy. In these 4 stocks, how many are having a EMA Confluence, weekly EMA Confluence, these supply zones? Let's verify. In the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, supply zones having weekly EMA Confluence. First one is sideways, ignore it. Remaining all are bearish trade setups. They are not bearish, counter trend trade setups, because the trend is uptrend. Bearish trade setup, these stocks are not supported. Okay, this is about weekly time frame, and the next time frame is daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. 8 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Aarti Industries is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. Bandhan Bank is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. Emphasis is having a high liquidity daily demand zone. So total 3 stocks are filtered. Okay, next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. 8 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity zones from this list, but pierced zone we can't use it. This is also pierced zone, you cannot use. We don't have any valid high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. Okay, next, daily time frame. Let's find the stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone. These daily demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, daily time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0, so the daily zones are not pierced. Let's filter. We got several stocks. These are the first 15 stocks. Daily demand zones, price closed inside the daily demand zones. I'm scrolling the list down. So total 30 stocks are filtered. In all these 30 stocks, prices are closed in these daily demand zones. Okay, how many of these daily demand zones are having daily EMA Confluence? So in the EMA Confluence, at a daily time frame, daily demand zones having daily EMA Confluence filter is enabled, and also this EMA Confluence makes sense only in the trending market, not in the sideways. So in the trend, zone violation trend at daily time frame, I am selecting up or down. Let me filter the stocks. 4 stocks are filtered. 1 stock is up. This is supports bullish trade setup. Remaining 3 are counter trend trade setups they support. Okay, now let's look for price closed inside daily supply zone. I'm going back. So daily time frame. So supply zones, entry zone, and it should be price closed inside the daily supply zone, and the trend filter and EMA filter let us remove. I'm removing the EMA filter. Next, trend filter also removed. Let's filter. We got 8 stocks. In all these 8 supply zones, currently prices are closed. These are the daily supply zones. Out of these 8 supply zones, how many are having how many of these supply zones are supporting EMA Confluence? Let's go daily EMA Confluence. In the EMA Confluence, a daily time frame, daily supply zones having a daily EMA Confluence filter is enabled, and this should be in the either up or down trend, but not sideways. So selected the trend also. Let's filter. We got 6 stocks. In these 6 stocks, except the 6 remaining, all are having downtrend. That means first 5 supports. First 5 can be used. It's not supports, can be used for supporting bearish trade setups. 6th one, counter trend trade setups. That way you can plan trade plans. So manually you have to draw the zones. Identify the exact lower time frame zones. This is the way. Anyway, we are generating bullish and bearish trade setups. But some people, they want to plan their trades on their own. For that, these stocks will be useful. Prices closed inside, because they are the immediate trade opportunities they might be providing you. Probably these daily zones you will be using as either HTF zone or ITF zone for preparing your trade setups. This is how some people will be doing. So that way this information will be useful to them. Directly who want the actual bullish and bearish trade setup zones, you will get them. In MIT, WIT and DIT stocks we are preparing. We are generating with the help of this software. Okay, this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 5 stocks. Next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 5 stocks. Let's verify high liquidity zones from this list. This is a NIFTY healthcare is an indices not listed in F&O. That means we don't have any valid zones for 75 minutes F&O related trade plans. Okay, next for 75 minutes time frame, let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. 5 stocks are filtered. Let's identify any supply zones, high liquidity supply zones. Nifty FMCG, but this is not listed in F&O. SBI Life is having a high liquidity supply zone, having 1 test and 7 rejections from the zone. Maybe there could be some high liquidity zones you can find at lower time frames. So we have only one valid high liquidity supply zone from this list. Okay, next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone, we got 10 stocks. Next, for 25 minutes time frame, stocks near 25 minutes supply zone, we got 11 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone, we got 11 stocks. Let's find how many of these demand zones are having ITF confluence. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, we got 7 stocks. In all these 7 demand zones, 15 minutes demand zones, they are having confluence with 75 minutes zone. That means these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Okay. Next, for 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone, we got 6 stocks. In these 6, how many are having ITF confluence? Let's find. The 15 minute supply zone with the 75 minute supply zone confluence. I'm enabling this filter. With this filter, we got only 1 stock. That means in this supply zone, in this 15 minutes, this 15 minute supply zone is having 75 minute supply zone confluence. That means 15 minute supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone. This is the way we should understand. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone, we got 5 stocks. All these are all 5 minutes demand zones. In these 5 minutes demand zone, how many are having 15 minutes demand zone confluence? That is 5 minute demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone. I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 5, we got 3 stocks. That means all these 5 minutes demand zones are part of the 15 minutes demand zone. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone, we got 9 stocks. In these 9, how many of these 5 minute zones are having confluence with 15 minute supply zones? Let's verify. In the supply zone confluence, I am enabling the filter 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, we got 4 stocks. These 4 supply zones are part of the 15 minute supply zones. So this is the way we should understand. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones. Next, let us generate NIFTY and BANKNIFTY supply demand zone chain. Let's start with NIFTY, starting from monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for NIFTY. So this is the list. In this list, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. They can't be used. And look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. This is the way you should understand the remaining reports. And also don't forget to pause the video when you are moving from one time frame to another time frame, because I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the reports. Okay, the next time frame is weekly generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is a daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, so 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes, 15 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next time frame is 5 minutes, 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So demand zone is started from 32. So that means all these are all supply zone. Item 32, serial number 32 is the last one is demand zone. So I am scrolling the list down. So these are all the demand zones from 32 onwards. Okay, this is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, let me generate Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. Let me start with monthly time frame, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is weekly, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is daily, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 125 minutes, generating 125 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 75 minutes, generating 75 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 25 minutes, generating 25 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next time frame is 15 minutes, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. The last time frame is 5 minutes, generating 5 minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain, and the next set of reports are about bullish and bearish trade setups. So monthly, weekly, daily bullish and bearish trade setups. First, let me start with monthly bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is daily. Entry zone is demand zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame daily, I am selecting bullish. And these daily demand zones should not be pierced. So in the pierced column, in the pierced count parameter at daily time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means the daily zone is not pierced. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. And zone achievement violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All the three filters are applied to daily demand zone. So we got 9 stocks. That means these 9 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. In these 9, there could be some high probability setup supported zones might be available. We need to find them. So the first filter is based on LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So let me filter. LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Enable the filter. With this filter, 3 stocks are, we got 3 stocks. These 3 are high probability setup supported stocks. These 3 demand zones, daily demand zones. In these 3 daily demand zones, because weekly trend is up, if any of these stocks are having weekly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. The EMA confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. Out of 3, 2 stocks are filtered. These 2 are high probability supported zones, the demand zones. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing this EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, LTF, ITF and HTF zone confluence, 3 filters we should set. This is the first filter already set. Next, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence and weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 1 stock. HDFC Bank trend is up. If it is also having monthly EMA confluence, it is even more high probability setup. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at monthly time frame, monthly demand zone with monthly EMA confluence filter, we got the stock. So this is a very even more high probability setup supported zone, and also it is a TCO demand zone. We already learned TCO concepts. Okay, next is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame daily, entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame daily, I am selecting bearish. This daily supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, daily time frame, setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. Zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to daily supply zone. We did not get any bearish trade setup supported stocks. Okay, next weekly income trade, bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is 75 minutes. Entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bullish, because we are selecting 75 minutes bullish trade setup. That is weekly income trade. And this 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score is 12. All 3 filters are applied to 75 minutes demand zone. Now we filter 9 stocks. These 9 demand zones are having these 9 demand zones are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame, 75 minutes demand zones. These 75 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability setup supported stocks might be available. We need to plan the trades. So let's go back and add LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. ITF is 75 minutes, LTF is 75 minutes and ITF is daily. So 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got 9 stocks. In all these 9 stocks, the 75 minutes demand zones are part of the daily demand zone. and daily trend is up. ITF is a daily. So daily trend is up. So if these daily demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify in the EMA confluence at a daily time frame. Daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. We got 4 stocks. So these 4 are high probability setup supported demand zones. Okay, out of these 4, apart from these 4, we can also find high probability zones based on LTF, ITF and HTF zone confluence. So let's go back, removing EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we should add: LTF, ITF, HTF filters. The first filter is already enabled, that is 75 with daily demand zone confluence. Second filter, 75 minutes demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. Third filter, daily demand zone with weekly demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 5 stocks. In these 5 stocks, the 15, because all these demand zones are 15 minutes 75 minutes demand zones. They are the LTF zones, entry zones. These demand zones are part of the daily demand zones. Again, both together again part of the weekly demand zones. If weekly trend is up, the third stock and the fourth stock, if they are having a weekly EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. It doesn't mean other stocks are not, they are already high probability because they have LTF, ITF, HTF. Some stocks are having high liquidity 75 minute zones. Definitely they are all good stocks. But if EMA, weekly EMA is there in third and fourth, because remaining all are having sideways trend. So let's verify the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, weekly demand zone with weekly EMA confluence. We got 3. In that 3, first one is a sideways trend, you can ignore, and remaining 2 uptrend stocks at HTF, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks, and also both these stocks are also having high liquidity demand zones. Okay, next let us focus on bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes entry time frame. I am selecting bearish. The 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All the 3 filters are applied to 75 minute supply zone. Now let's verify. We got 9 stocks. Currently these 9 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. That is entry time frame, 75 minute supply zones. In these 9 75 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability setup supported zones might be available. Let's find them. First filter is based on LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is the 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. So I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 7 stocks. So these 7 stocks are high probability setup supported stocks because the entry time frame 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. And daily trend is down. If any of these daily zones are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. So let's verify. So in the EMA confluence, daily time frame. Why daily? Because 75 minutes entry supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. So that's why if daily supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, enable the filter. Out of 7, we got 5 stocks. All these 5 are high probability, even more high probability setup supported stocks. Okay. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF based zone confluence supported stocks. removing this EMA filter. 75 minutes daily and weekly supply zone confluence. 3 filters we have to enable. Already first one is enabled, 75 with daily. Next 75 minutes supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. Daily supply zone with weekly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. In these 3 stocks, daily zone is part of the, 75 minute zone is part of the daily zone. Both together again part of the weekly zone. And those weekly zones are having weekly supply zone confluence. In this weekly supply zone, any EMA confluence, especially the third one, because the third one, HTF trend is a downtrend. If it is having a weekly EMA, it is even more high probability setup supported stock. Let us verify. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, weekly supply zone with weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we did not get MGL. Only first 2 sideways, they won't get any extra advantage. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15-minute zone. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup, at entry time frame 15 minutes, I am selecting bullish, and 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0, and minimum value 0. And zone achievement, violated opposing zone, minimum odd and hands score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. With all these filters, we got 4 stocks. These 4 are supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes demand zones. So we got 4 15 minutes demand zones. In these zones, there could be some high probability setup supported stocks might be available. How many of these demand zones are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, out of 4 stocks, we got all the 4 stocks. That means in all these 4, these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And as the 75 minutes trend is up, if any of these 75 minutes demand zones are having daily EMA confluence, there could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, at 75 minutes time frame, 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 1 stock. And also it is a high liquidity 15 minutes demand zone. That's why, see, it is already tested 3 times, 9 rejections from this zone. Ramco Cements. Okay, next let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. Removing this EMA filter. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters. 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence already enabled. Next 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. That is LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. We got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, daily demand zone is, 15 minutes demand zone is part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again part of the daily demand zone. And also the trend is uptrend in both these stocks. HTF trend. Because HTF trend is uptrend, if they are having any HTF EMA confluence, HTF is daily EMA confluence with daily demand zones, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Why daily demand zones? Because of 15 minutes demand zone together with 75 minutes demand zone are part of the daily demand zone. That is what LTF, ITF, HTF confluence, zone confluence. So that's why daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence at a daily time frame, daily demand zone with daily EMA confluence, because entry time frame 15 minutes demand zone and 75 minutes demand zone together part of the daily demand zone. No stocks. So no. daily EMA based zones. Okay, next bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is a supply zone. And in bullish or bearish trade setup, 15 minutes time frame, entry time frame, I am selecting bearish. The 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. In the pierced count, 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. And zone achievement violated, opposing zone, minimum order enhances score 12. All three filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. Now we got 15 supply zones. In all these 15 minute supply zones, they are supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. These 15 minute supply zones. But in these 15 minute supply zones, there could be some high probability supported supply zones might be available. How many of these supply zones are having ITF supply zone confluence? That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. With this filter, we got 13 stocks. Out of 15, these 13 stocks, the entry time frame 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone. And 75 minute supply zone trend is a downtrend. If any of these 75 minute supply zones are having daily EMA confluence, because 15 minutes entry supply zone is part of the 75 minute supply zone. That's why 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence could be even more high probability setup supported stocks. So in the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. With this filter, we got only one stock. So this is a high probability setup supported supply zone. Okay, now let's verify LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone confluence. I am removing EMA filter. Earlier LTF and ITF we got 13 stocks. Now let us add HTF also into those stocks. HTF confluence. That is 15 minutes, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. First filter 15 minutes with 75 minutes supply zone confluence is enabled. Second filter 15 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Third filter 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. All the three filters are enabled. With these three filters we got 5 stocks. What does it mean? That means all these 15 minute supply zones are part of the 75 minute supply zone, both together again part of the daily supply zone. And those daily supply zones, that is HTF is daily. Last 2 stocks are having a downtrend. If any of these 2 stocks are having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, daily time frame, daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence filter is enabled. We got 3. Out of these 3, 2 stocks are having sideways. You can ignore them. Sideways does not add extra advantage. Already these 2 are high probability setup supported stocks, no doubt in that. But trend based, EMA based, they are not having even more extra advantage. But third one is having extra advantage because it is a downtrend and also daily EMA confluence is there for daily zone. Of course, this is also supported 75 minute zone with daily EMA confluence. Okay. So this is the bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Last report is about stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices. Remaining all are equity stocks listed in F&O category. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you pause the video. I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you. Let's all meet again in our next video. Thank you.